What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another new video. My name is Di-Luchito, and in today's video is going to be somewhat of a different approach to the other videos that I've done in the past. Today we're going to be reviewing, or I guess just say do a movie review, as you've probably seen from the title. I just recently did see The Black Phone 2, and I'm going to be going over what I thought was probably the best parts about it, and probably what it did best at, what it could probably have improved on, and such and such and such. So let's just get into it. So if you aren't familiar with Black Phone, with the first Black Phone, it's essentially just some guy called the Grabber who just kidnaps a bunch of kids, kills them, and one of the main characters in this movie, Finn, who was actually the in the first movie, he was kidnapped and actually killed him in the first movie. And now this movie, spoilers ahead. I should have said this before, but spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen the Black Phone 2 and you don't care about spoilers, then I guess just keep watching. But if you want to see the movie before you see this, then go watch the movie. But anyways, the Black Phone 2 takes place 4 years after the events of the first movie. It kind of has to do with Finn, and the new main character of this, Gwen, his little sister. Now, Finn is also trying to deal with getting over the fact that he was kidnapped, so he has a lot of PTSD. He's gotten more into smoking now, and his sister, Gwen, she is starting to have a lot of realistic dreams now, or like hallucinations, kind of, where she's seeing dead bodies of kids that have died in the past, and she's trying to figure out why is she having these dreams and what could possibly be the cause of this. And then they go to this camp that their mother used to go to, who was actually murdered. Spoilers again. They think that she unalived herself, but she was actually she was you get the whole idea. I don't want to get demonetized. That's why. Anyways, so they go to the camp, and then she starts to have more realistic dreams, and Finn is starting to have more PTSD as the Grabber, his spirit, is kind of haunting them. You could say, well, like he's like dead, but not dead. Like his spirit lives, kind of. He's kind of like a ghost or a demon kind of thing. So so after that little recap that I just did there, I kind of want to talk about like what this movie kind of did right. So obviously the horror aspect is very well much there. It kind of reminds me more. It's like a mixture of like The Conjuring or like The Exorcist, and a mixture of like Halloween and Friday the 13th kind of thing, because like he's a ghost, or like a spirit, or like a demon spirit, right? Like The Conjuring, The Exorcist. It's kind of like that, and he's just going around, kind of killing people, type of thing. So like you could definitely see like the whole entire horror aspect and like all the inspiration behind it and all that kind of stuff. Like you can definitely see it and whatnot. Um, and it does a good job at doing that. Like there are quite a few times, like near the end as well, like at the very end of it, a lot of scene, or like there was a point where I thought that you know a lot of people were gonna get killed off or something, and surprisingly, believe it or not, no one actually got killed off, which I find that really hard to believe. Like that was probably the more surprising thing about this movie, that nobody seemed to have gotten killed off. And I don't know, I would have assumed that at least two people would have gotten killed off. But also, to add like another part of the horror stuff, the jump scares, they're definitely present there. There was a part where like a snowman kind of got thrown at a window or whatever, and that, I'm gonna be real, that scared the shit out of me. Um, and at the very end, he completely takes off his mask, and like it kind of looks like Two Face, kind of like his entire jaw, like all of his flesh and skin is like completely torn off, and it when I first saw it, I cringed. I was like, ugh. I was very disturbed by what I had just seen. I yeah, I don't know what to tell you. That was pretty bad. And moving on now. So a couple of things that were questionable among the film is that there were a few instances that kind of sort of didn't make a lot of sense. Like one of the characters who actually runs the entire camp, which is actually, I forgot to mention, a Christian camp. Um, they continuing off what I had just said, some of the parts that didn't make any sense. The guy falls into some water, or one of the main characters that runs the whole entire camp, like I just said. They fall into the water and it's freezing cold, and they're just fine the next day. And then another instance is where another guy jumps into the water purposely to get something. Can't say what because I'm trying to avoid as many spoilers as possible. they just they were just perfectly fine, which again makes absolutely no sense if you ask me. I don't know what kind of logic they were trying to go with, but there's not really much I can say about it. But to conclude, because I'm not trying to hold up all your time, um, the entire thing as a whole was a really good movie. I really did enjoy it. I would give this thing a 4 out of 5 personally. It was a really fun movie to watch. A lot, and I forgot to mention as well. Some of they did find a way to throw in a couple of jokes here and there that did work as well, considering that this was also like a ghost thing as well. There was an instance where one of the ladies, when the grabber was throwing around Gwen, she was like, "You got the devil in you, kid," and that was kind of funny. So they definitely did find a way to throw in a lot of those jokes in there. So it was pretty good with the comedic jokes that they had. But again, this movie personally for me was a 4 out of 5. I think that there will be a Black Phone 3? Probably not, honestly. I think this is probably a good way to conclude the entire thing. But considering at what is being the money that is being made from this movie, you could probably argue that there is going to be a Black Phone 3, but we'll just have to wait and see. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and I would totally recommend it for horror fans. But that's just my 2 cents for tonight. And if there's any kind of other movies that you want me to review, I'll be more than glad to review them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.